Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay Strand. Today on Sweet Talk, we're making baked churros. Now I know what you may be thinking, traditional churros are fried. But our version, with just 4 ingredients, is the easiest way to make churros at home. They're a great alternative for anyone that doesn't want to use a lot of oil or fry in their kitchen, which can get pretty messy. So I've started by preheating my oven to 425, and next I'll make my sugar mixture that we use to toss the churros. So this is just 1/2 cup of granulated sugar and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. I'm gonna give that a whisk. We're gonna dust the churros in this when they come out hot from the oven. Next, we'll roll out our puff pastry. So here I have 14 ounces of all butter puff pastry. I like to use all butter because it has the best flavor. So I'll roll this out to a 12 by 16 rectangle. Let's see, we're starting at 15 by 10, so I'll just roll it out a little bit more. So I'm gonna put a little flour on top. And if you use vegetable shortening puff pastry, that's totally fine, but you're gonna wanna check the box because every brand has a different oven setting. And I've thawed this out, they come frozen, so this is still a little bit chilled, so it's easy to work with. It's nice and pliable. So let's see where we're at. This is 16, 12, perfect. So next we'll make an egg wash to brush over the dough. This is gonna help seal the churros together when we twist them. So just take an egg, beat it lightly. Looks good. And then we're just gonna brush it all over the top of the pastry dough. Get all the way to the edges here so that it seals together. Next we're gonna fold the top half over the bottom half, and then press all of the air bubbles out so it really sticks to itself here. So now we're going to cut this into 32 strips. We want them to be about a 1/2 inch thick, so you can either use a ruler or you could cut it in half, then in quarters, then again and again until you get 32. So I'm gonna use a pizza cutter. You could also use a paring knife or any sharp knife you have at home, but I think this makes it really easy to cut into strips. So this looks like about a 1/2 inch, and I'm just gonna eyeball it. Just like that. So now that we have our strips, we're gonna take them and you just give them a twist like this, and we're gonna put it onto our baking sheet. If you press the ends onto the baking sheet like this, that really helps them stick so that when you put them in the freezer, they'll maintain their shape really nicely. Since this tray's done, I'm gonna go pop it in the freezer for 30 minutes until they're firm. That's gonna help them keep their nice spiral shape while they're baking. And then I'll get going on my next tray. So we'll bake these until they're puffed and golden, 20 to 22 minutes. While my churros are baking, I'm going to make the Mexican chocolate sauce that goes with the churros. So it's basically a ganache, it's super simple. It's 1 cup of heavy cream that we're going to heat to a simmer. And while this heats, I'll chop 8 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. I like to use a serrated knife for this. It makes it a lot less messy to chop your chocolate. I kind of lay them out like this, and I'll go through once this way, and then I'll go back once the other way. A fine enough chop so that the chocolate melts really nicely into the cream. We're gonna put this into a heat-proof bowl so that when we pour the cream over, it'll melt the chocolate. Let's check on our cream. It's bubbling here around the edges. We just want it scalding. We don't want it to really boil too much. So that looks pretty good. I'll pour the hot cream over. That should be just enough to melt the chocolate. So I'm gonna let this sit for 5 minutes so it can really melt the chocolate, and then when we stir it, it will be perfectly smooth. It's been 5 minutes, so I'm ready to stir my lovely ganache. And it will slowly start coming together. It's like the magic of chocolate and cream. Now we have a silky, shiny, lovely chocolate sauce. So now to make this really have the flavors of Mexican hot chocolate, I'll add 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ancho chili powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. You don't have to add these flavors if you don't want to, but I think that the spices and the vanilla play really nicely with the dark chocolate and make it a really rich, delicious, little bit spicy sauce. So I'll set this aside until our churros come out of the oven. I've just pulled my churros out of the oven. They are puffed, as you can see, and beautifully golden. And while they're still a little bit hot, you want to take them and put them into a large bowl. They're pretty fragile, so be careful, and then sprinkle with half of your cinnamon sugar mixture. The trick is you do want to do this while they're a little bit hot so that the sugar sticks to the outside of the churros. Look how good those look. So then you'll repeat that with the other tray of your churros with the remaining half of your sugar mixture. But I am ready to eat these right now. So I'm going to spoon a little bit of my chocolate mixture in here. Wow, that looks so good. I love chocolate. So that's it. You have these beautiful churros, no frying, no hot oil, just perfectly crisp, golden churros. You'll have to try these and let me know what you think in the comments. Look at that. A little messy, but so worth it.